Thanks for giving a little of your time today. Coach, just give us some of your thoughts on spring. We know you got a couple practices still left to go, but how's the spring practice been and what you saw today?
Yeah, thank you. I'd say I like the team's attitude and their effort to get better. This was practice 12 for us out of 15, and obviously unique to have the spring game and still have a couple practices left. But up to this point, I like that our guys have been hungry. There's been a good chemistry, and it's been a fun team to be around and a fun team to coach. Today the goal one is you want to come out of a game like this when you're just this close to spring being over. One, hopefully, injury free. I think we had a couple guys get banged up, but hopefully nothing overly serious. But also, you want to just see guys execute your play calls. You're not doing anything crazy, but you want to see them execute the fundamental things. And there's a lot of good things that we did. There's some penalties and things that you wish that didn't occur, especially offensively, like false starts and some of those things. But I was pleased with our effort and just the guys coming out. And first time playing in front of, we got a lot of new guys, in a lot of new positions, especially on offense. And just to see how they go out and compete in front of a crowd and a game-like setting with officials. So there was a lot of positives with that, and it was good to see guys take a next step in the competition they have, whether that's among their group, really mostly among just themselves, and taking the next step there. But I'd like to see us play cleaner. But I did like a lot of the things that I saw from just the effort standpoint.
Pretty even mix for your quarterbacks most of the day. You said it was going to be that way for a lot of spring. What have you seen from them in the first 11 practices, and then obviously what did you see from them today? Some of the things you liked.
I think they've all done a good job of grasping the offense. They're all brand new in it, obviously. So I mean, we have nobody that went today that's been here longer than 2 months, and so I do think they've made strides of understanding and mastering the offense, which is good to see. I think today. The key, what you wanted, hey, can they in the situations we put them in, who could command the team, who could move the ball and put us in situations to score in the different scenarios that we did, who can handle the different things that a defense can throw at you. And I'd like to see us being a little bit better with some of our passes as far as our accuracy, overall. But I think from 1 to 12, all three quarterbacks have done a nice job of understanding, making strides each and every week. And again, it's all of it's brand new for them. So every time we get something new from the defense, it's a learning curve. Every time that there's a different coverage or we install a play, there's a learning curve. But they've studied hard. I think you can see they've all got some athleticism. They all can throw the ball pretty well. And so I was pleased. Just overall, I don't think we had a turnover. Now we maybe put the ball in some situations where it could have been, but I thought they did a nice job of moving the ball and putting us in the end zone.
Offensive line, how would you evaluate just where they are with moving pieces as always?
Yeah, I think that's a hard one. We lost 3 returning starters there, and then one of our guys that played some for us has been out. So we've got a lot of new guys. We brought some new guys in, and we've done a good job of just putting them in different situations where they're going the ones, where they're going with the twos, whether they're lined up at guard or tackle, and they're a work in progress. I think we've got some multiple guys up there where we can have a solid offensive line, but there's some work that's got to do there. We've got to continue to build, I would say, just the identity and mentality we need to have up there. And when you're new, we got a lot of new guys that are really playing, a lot of snaps for the first time, and so they're trying to figure it out and not make a mistake. And so when you do that, sometimes you don't play as physical or play as the edge you need to play with up there. And that'll come with time as they're learning. But I do think we've got a solid group. We've just got to continue. Coach Durkin does a great job with them. We just got to continue to develop them and find that, that 7 or 8 that we can count on. And that'll be an area that we'll still look to improve in the off season or in the summer.
Defensively, there's so many of those familiar faces on the front seven, pretty much all around. The defensive backs is an area where we talk to the coaches. There's some healthy competition there. What are some of the guys who think play well today, maybe, and have been standouts?
Yeah, I mean, I think our front seven defensively has a chance to be pretty good. They've got to learn front seven wise. We've got to learn how to bring the same mentality, the edge every single day. There's a consistency there. I think in the secondary, you have some guys that have played, but it's time for them to play at a consistent level. I think today, I think in the spring, We've had some good competition, whether that's at corner, whether that's in the safety. Brylan Green's a guy that's played quite a bit. He's been out, a decent amount of spring just from an injury, recovering from the bowl game there, and so he's a returner. But I think we've got a good group back there overall. We got some young guys that have a chance to step up and make some significant time, play some significant snaps. They got to take that next step to do that, and by being consistent. I think if you ask overall defensively, what do we need to do to be better? There's just a consistent mindset that we have to have overall. And we don't have that all the time, and that's something that those guys have to mature and grow to, because I do think we can have a really, really good defense. And I think our defense knows that, but I think that just the work that goes into that, the effort that goes into that, the mentality that goes into that, we've got to get to that consistently. But I think we have the pieces there, to be a really good defense, and there's flashes there where we can show we can be a dominant, defense, but. The one guy to me that stood out in the secondary consistently this spring is a Corey Jones. I think he's done a great job for us. He's obviously played quite a bit, but he's done a really nice job of really standing up and showing up every single day there in the secondary from the safety position. That I think's done a nice job. And then we've got a lot of corners playing a lot of different times, playing and just trying to figure that out. But Corey's really stood out to me. Anybody else? You keep asking. Nobody else wants to ask you. They're mesmerized by my good looks on this side.
Other programs are kind of going away from spring games. I guess, are you getting what you like out of spring games still? Or are you getting what you wanted? And then do you see yourself having one next year?
I get why people go away from it. I understand some of the reasoning behind it. I think for me, we're a development. We got to develop. You got to have guys that continue to play. The only way you can get better is to play. And yes, you take a risk. I won't lie. I'm thinking, oh man, should I be doing this today? Because you're tackling, and you don't want certain guys to, potentially anybody to get hurt or one of those. So there's a risk there. But it. The way I think through it, maybe it's right, maybe it's wrong, but it's a tough sport, and you got to put guys in position to play the game and make plays in a game-like scenario so they can build confidence to do that. And if they can't do it, they've seen it, and hopefully they can grow from it. And it's hard to do that when you're thudding, hey, I tackled that guy, and it gets into that. But to really do it, you have to do it quite a bit. And now you got to balance that with as much caution as you can. But is it like today? Was it technically a game? There was game-like scenarios. It was more of a spring showcase. Maybe I'll call that going forward, spring showcase. But I think from a development standpoint, because we are developing guys, even guys that have played some. There's areas they need to improve. And so maybe that changes. But one of the things that I think I'm upset at myself from last year is I think I took that mentality during the fall camp and probably didn't tackle enough, and I don't think I got us ready as a team. I didn't do a good job there, and so there's a fine line with that, right? And so in the spring, I think you really can develop a toughness and a mindset of how we practice, and it's hard. We're practicing 4 days a week, and the guys bang, and then they got to come back again. You ask those guys, it's tough on them, right? It's a tough deal, and I get that, playing it, but there's a thing that if you push yourself through that toughness and are able to overcome it, then you harden yourself to be ready for that, and so that's how we're building a program. And but I think about it. Hey, should we be doing this? I'm like, should I cut it now? But then you want to see guys perform. So ask me that tomorrow. I'll probably have another answer.
Time for one more, Coach.
Flag for excessive celebration after one of those late touchdowns.
Yeah.
In a game, I'd imagine you come down harsh on it.
Well, now was that our lineman celebrating? Is that what it was? Was it our old lineman slamming the ball down?
Kane handed it to one of the players.
Yeah. So I don't know if we've been. You can ask those guys. I've been pretty hard on that in practice, have I not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I think one day we was really hard on that one. So I'll have to find out. I didn't see it. I'll have to find out. I saw that we got it, but I didn't see what exactly happened. So, but yeah, that's one of the things. Obviously, was a big issue last year, and I've made a concerted effort to make sure that our guys understand how to celebrate. So I'll have to check into that.